Welcome. We're going to get started here. We're going to start talking about getting started with iStation. I'm Lori Lynch. I'm the Director of Training, and welcome to the webinar. We're going to cover the 5 simple steps to getting started with iStation. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. What we're going to cover today are these very basic steps that you're going to need to know to get started with iStation. We want to simplify things for you as you're beginning this implementation. So we're going to break it down really simplistically and talk about just those things you need to literally get started using the iStation program. So welcome to the 5 simple steps to getting started with iStation. Number 1, you're going to receive an email. You're going to get an email from iStation accounts with a username and password. This is again going to come via email from iStation accounts, and this is going to go to your school or district email address. It won't go to a personal email address. It'll go to your school or district email address. All of this happens based on the implementation and those beginning phases. So what's going to occur is either your campus or district will be working with iStation, and typically through your technology team, they will import into iStation the names of teachers and administrators who will need a login to the iStation website. In addition, they will also import in the student names for those students who will need access to iStation. So all of these things will be occurring at the beginning of your implementation based on the work that's done between your technology team and iStation. So again, you're going to receive that email once all those steps have taken place. Once your students have also been added to iStation, you're going to be able to access our website and get to those student login cards, again, via the iStation website, which is at www.istation.com. So we're going to go through all of these steps today and walk us through how this occurs and how we'll be able to get logged in. Once your students have their own login cards, we're going to talk about how to access the iStation student program. So we're going to talk about 2 very different locations today. We're going to talk about the teacher and administrator access on the website, and we're going to talk about the student access on the student program. And we'll talk about location and what that looks like as we go through these 5 steps. Once your students have begun using iStation, you're going to be able to go back to that website for teachers and administrators and view that student data. And that's very key because everything we do at iStation is going to be in real time when it comes to data collection. So you won't have to do any waiting for data to upload or download or to be processed in any way. It is going to be immediate. So once we have immediate data on how the students are performing, that leads us to step 5, and that's using these results to help inform instruction. And that's really the whole goal here, is to provide you guys with immediate information so that you can go in and inform instruction appropriately and truly differentiate for every single student using the iStation program. So receiving that email, what's going to be in that email? Well, it's going to come from iStation accounts, and it's going to house 3 very important pieces of information for you as a teacher or administrator. So let's focus on those 3 things that are going to be here. I'm going to actually pull out my highlighter here, and we're going to focus on this center part of the email. It is going to include a domain. That's the very first piece of information, and it's going to include your login. And then finally your password. And you'll notice this password looks a little convoluted. It's a mixture of letters and numbers. Rest assured that is a temporary password. So all of you will have a password that looks very much like that. And want you to know that once you use that password the very first time, it will allow you to change your password to something you're much more comfortable with. And we do encourage you to choose a password that you're very unlikely to forget. So you want to pick something that's going to be really easy for you to recall, especially if you're not logging onto that website on a regular basis. We want to make sure it's an easy recall for you. So change that password to something that you're very likely to remember. Again, domain. Now domain, that is synonymous with the word location. So think about location. Location is where you are. What campus do you belong to? What district do you belong to? what state do you reside in. And that's what a domain will help identify, because each of you will be tied to a location so that when you log in, it recognizes you as a member of that location and takes you to data that is pertinent for you. So it'll be very important to identify the domain, and we're going to talk about those steps as we continue on here. So teachers and administrators, let me just say this again, teachers and administrators, your location to log in and get information about iStation, student data, printing login cards, all that is done through the iStation website. And you see the web address right here, www.istation.com, and that's very important because that is where you're going to go. It does not matter what internet browser you use. You might use Internet Explorer or Safari, maybe Firefox, maybe even Google Chrome. Whatever you typically use to go out to the internet, whether you're going out to buy a new pair of shoes or to look at the news online, you're going to use that and you're going to type in this web address and you're going to get out to the iStation website. So we're going to go there right now together. We're going to get out to the iStation website, and once you get out here, you are going to be able to log in once you've gotten that email from iStation account. So if you haven't received that yet and you know that you're getting ready to get started, you'll want to check with your district or campus leadership to make sure that that piece of information has been submitted to iStation so that you will receive that username and that password. So we're going to demonstrate how we would typically log in to the iStation website once we have received our user information from iStation. So in the top right, you're going to notice where it says Customer Login. That's exactly where you're going to go. You're going to look for that upper right-hand button that says Customer Login, and you're going to go ahead and click right there. Once you do that, you're going to typically land right here where it says Select Your School. Selecting your school is what we talked about a moment ago. That's that domain. Select your school, domain, location. These are all one and the same. So here we go. We're going to identify where we belong. So if you were with Jones Elementary, you would simply type Jones and you would be able to search for that school name and then choose the one that's most appropriate for you. We're going to use a mock situation here, and I'm going to say that I am from Gilbert, from M. Gilbert, in a location here in Texas. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that domain, and now you'll notice it says welcome. You're logging into the website for Gilbert School. So you'll be able to see your own domain here. If you have an incorrect domain listed, you simply just select a different school, and then you would be able to change that information to find the correct location so that you're authorized to log in. If you've chosen the wrong domain, it will not recognize you and it will not allow you to log in. So you're going to want to make sure that is completely, perfectly identified as we go through. So we're going to go ahead and log in here as a user of this campus. And once we log in, we're going to go to a landing page. And this landing page will have many different links for us to access not only the reports and management features, but also to get to our toolbox or to possibly even the training center. And we're going to focus on the training center towards the end of our time together today. So right now, we're just concentrating on we logged in. We identified that domain. We typed in the username provided, and we typed in the password. Now remember, that first time you log in, that password will be allowed to be changed. So you'll want to have something in mind for your new password. All right, so we're going to go back to our presentation here. We're going to leave the website for a moment. And we're going to focus on the next step to get beyond the website. What we're going to need to do once we're there, we've got to get our students started, right? We've got to get the students on the iStation program. So we've been able to log into the website. We've got to have login cards for our students. These students will need these login cards in order to access the iStation student program. So we're going to talk about those steps. So again, teachers and administrators, you're logging in, as we see here in bullet point 1, to the website at www.istation.com with your teacher or admin login and password. We're going to find the Manage section Very important, we're going to find the Manage section on the iStation website. And teachers, you're going to click Manage and Students, and we're going to be able to print those login cards. Administrators, you're going to choose the classroom you want to print the cards for, and then click Manage and Students. So just one additional step there for those in a leadership role. So again, teachers, we're going to find that Manage section on the website. We're going to click Manage and then Students, and then we're going to be able to print those login cards. Admin, leadership level, specialist, anybody who's in a leadership role will need to identify the classroom first, and then click Manage and Students. So we'll choose those login cards and print. So we're going to go back to the website. And just like we said, we've logged into our website. We landed here on this landing page. Let's look for that Manage section. You can see there's a button right here for Manage. For those of you who already have classrooms listed in here, they're already been imported to iStation, you can also see your classroom lists over here on the left. So we're going to go ahead and choose this first grade classroom. And once we choose that first grade classroom, you're going to see right here, login cards. It's going to be right here on the left inside this light blue box. So login cards will be immediately accessible once the students have been imported into iStation. We automatically create these accounts for your students and automatically create these login cards. So all you have to do at this point is simply click login cards. And once you click login cards, this is what they're going to look like. You're going to see the student's name, and you're going to see a digit password. And each student will have a unique login for iStation. That's very important to remember. Each student will have their own password card, login card to be used. So you want to make sure that we're not having anybody use an additional student, maybe a student left and you have a new student coming in. You don't want to hand them the old student's login card. You want to make sure that each student has their own particular login card to use iStation. So very important to not mix up login cards or to share login cards, as that could cross-pollinate the data. So we want to make sure that each student is using their own login card. Once you're ready to print, you just simply look up here to the right and print the cards. Once you print the cards, you can use these to go to the computer lab, to use at your classroom computers, maybe in the media center or the library, wherever you have computers that are ready to go for iStation. You just simply print those cards and you're off to the races. Now, many teachers that we work with will cut these out, laminate them, maybe put them on an index card. It does help with the longevity of the login card, but just know that if you lose one, you can always come back to the website and reprint that card. So that feature never goes away. It's not a one-time feature. You can definitely come back to that. All right, so let's get back to our presentation piece. Now, we have seen printing the student login cards. We just reviewed this. Again, we go to the website with your teacher or admin login and password. You find the Manage section. Teachers are going to click Manage and Students. Admins, you're going to choose the classroom and then be able to get to those login cards. So login cards is key for students to be able to get started. And we've seen a picture of our login cards. Again, here's a screenshot of what login cards will typically look like. So just know that you can print these from our website in order for students to get started. Now, let's talk about the student login. We've really kind of honed in on teachers and admins logging into our website, which is great for you guys because a website, think about that, a website is available 24/7, 365. You are going to be able to get to student information, student data, login cards, training center resources, teacher resources. You're going to be able to get to all those materials anywhere you have the internet. So that's going to be the advantage for teachers and administrators. For the student's going to log in to iStation through an icon. They're not going to be going out to the website. Their logins and passwords actually will not work on the teacher and admin website. So students will go to an icon. And I've presented two different icons here on this slide. And the reason that we've done this is because we did have a logo change over the summer. So for those who may have used iStation in the past, and you're reviewing this information just for your review to get started, you might still see this icon. And if students double-click here, it will still take them to the iStation program. Our newest logo here is going to be the superhero icon that you might see on the desktop. So either one of these will work depending on where you are in your implementation. So just know that either of these icons that you see on the desktop will be where the student goes to log in. So I'm going to escape back here, and we're going to go to the desktop of my computer, and you're going to see right here in the center, I'm going to highlight this for us, right here in the middle, I actually have the student icon on my desktop. For your campuses and for your district, this is also going to be part of that beginning technology phase where you're going to have the technology team putting this icon on the classroom computers or on the lab computers or wherever you have a set of computers that you're going to want students to use iStation. And at the very end, I'll make sure you have our information, so if questions come up about how these things happen and in what order, we can definitely help you beyond today's Getting Started review. So for a student, I would just simply double-click right here. So for a student now, we're talking about just the student. The student will be able to use their login and their password to log into the iStation student program. And again, that was done through the icon. They're going to simply click OK. Now, if in most cases you're going to see Reading with ISIP or ISIP Español, so depending upon the language of the assessment and program that you're directing your students to, you would direct them to the English version or to our Spanish version. I'm going to go ahead and click here. Okay, so that's just taking us into the student program. I'm actually logged in as a 7th grader at this point, so I'm going directly to the appropriate assessments for my particular ability and or grade. So that's taking me into the student program. We're going to go ahead and exit out of the student program right now, but I wanted to show you how simplistic that login is for your students to use. All right, so we're going to go ahead and close down that particular piece, and we're going to go back to our presentation now. And we're going to talk about a really key feature for all of you that are using iStation. This is really what it boils down to, is the data. Getting that data on how students are performing. So we're going to be looking at the data being available immediately to all of you. And that's very key because with information comes power. So if we can get that data right away in your hands, it's going to really help to inform instruction. So all of your data will be available on our website for teachers and administrators in an immediate fashion. Website, resources, all your student data, like I've said before, is available 24/7 via the iStation website. And again, that web address is www.istation.com. If your campus or district has purchased training, your customized sessions will be scheduled with your campus or district leadership. We offer web-based training. We offer on-site training. So check with your leadership if you're curious about upcoming or ongoing training that may be happening for your campus or your district. These particular sessions are really designed to be individualized and to help you use your data effectively. Be able to ask those detailed questions that you may not be able to do in a more general session. So we're going to customize our training to meet your implementation needs based on your request. So check again to see what kind of training you may have scheduled or coming up for your campus or district. And again, these sessions will be designed to help you look at data effectively and to be able to ask detailed questions about individuals or classrooms or grade levels, however you want to roll that out. Now, the training center, very important. You attend a lot of training as a teacher or an administrator, and how in the heck are you supposed to remember everything that you're learning in each of these particular sessions? So we've thought about that, and we've created the training center. So we designed it with you in mind because we know that the brain just can't hold on to all the information that we put into a training session. So how do we provide you with some self-paced tutorials on all the key components of iStation. Well, we designed the training center, and it does have 24 access because it's on our website. These are all self-paced tutorials on all aspects of iStation. There are 3 sections that are now available for you to go through and watch. 1.5 to 2-minute videos, chunking that information for you so it's much easier to take in and remember. These sections will be getting started, and that's going to include all the how-tos. The how-tos like we're doing today, how to log in, how does a student log in, how to print my login cards, all those key features, so the getting started phase. Then we're going to turn and look at About iStation. About iStation, these are going to be things that are more product related. So maybe you have some questions about how iStation meets the needs of all learners, or maybe you're wanting to learn more about a particular product, either the early reading assessments or Spanish. The About iStation section will be able to give you, again, short videos that talk about each of those products and how it ties back in to the whole iStation component. Lastly, the report section. Once you get started, that's the key thing. You've got to know which reports to go to. Which reports should I be looking at? Which ones are going to give me the information that I really need to be successful in this implementation? So there's going to be a short, again, self-paced tutorial video on the reports for you to look at. You can watch these over and over again. You can watch them 14 times if you need to. There's no problem with going back to the training center and watching something to really drive that information home. There's also a video overview of iStation. Maybe you want to just kind of get a general idea of what iStation is. You can go out to our website, and there is a video. It's about 5 to 6 minutes long, and it's going to be an overview of our entire iStation product. So what happens if you have questions beyond today? You can definitely give us a call. Please contact us at iStation, 1-866-883-7323, and you'll be prompted to choose the department for your specific need. I will tell you, if you're looking for customer support, you're going to want to press 2. So you'll dial into that toll-free number, and you can press 2 for iStation customer support. If you need assistance in sales or training, you can also choose one of those departments, but the ones that we're going to probably get more calls from you will be regarding how to implement iStation. So you're going to want to contact our customer support, again, 1-866-883-7323. If you have a need to email us, you can also email iStation at support@istation.com. But please feel free to give us a call. We're going to be available for you Monday through Friday, 7:30 in the morning till 6:30 at night, and that's going to be Central Standard Time. So again, Monday through Friday, 7:30 in the morning till 6:30 at night, Central Standard Time. Via the phone, email us at support@istation.com, and we'll be able to assist you with whatever your needs are. We look forward to a great year, great partnership, and if you have any additional questions, don't ever hesitate to reach out to us. We'll be available to help you and really soup up that implementation and help you get off to a great year. So best regards, and we'll hopefully see you again soon.